Okay. So welcome to this week's episode of the Ranting podcast, the Rant Files. Episode 11 already.
I know, that's crazy.
That's wild. The podcast has strong opinions and zero filters. I'm Nick, and this is my lovely wife, Miranda. She's going into this episode completely blind and doesn't know what any of the topics are. So let's get right into it. First, we got rant or rave. I picked 4 topics as usual, and we'll see which one Miranda wants to rant or rave about. So 1, stepping out of your comfort zone. So like staying in your safe zone versus exploring new things and opportunities. Fake influencers, which is like buying fake followers, falsifying content, spreading a false message, stuff like that.
Okay.
Overthinking. So it's like overthinking versus like just diving in, right?
Yeah.
And then the butterfly effect. The most minute decision can change everything.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah. I like all of these, but you can only pick one. Last week you picked 3. You can only pick one.
Oh my God, that's really hard.
So we got stepping
Can
out of
you
your comfort
give me
zone.
your top 2?
No, I gave you my top 4. So stepping out of your comfort zone, fake influencers, overthinking, or butterfly effect. And then the ones we don't use will carry over.
Okay. I guess we can just go with stepping out of your comfort zone.
Okay. So staying in your safe zone versus exploring new things and opportunities. Do you want to rant or rave about that? How do you feel about stepping out of your comfort zone? I mean, I know, but
I'm trying to do new things.
I mean, this is one of them.
Yeah.
Right?
This is a big one.
Yeah.
I mean, really, everything lately is a big one.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, yeah, as of now, we have 3 companies.
Yeah.
So
Just like getting
That's-
out and
doing new things.
being out there and stuff. I suppose I should rave about it. Let's be optimistic.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
How do you feel like in the moment?
in the moment I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate all of it. Don't like it.
Just
not
like
a fan.
anxiety ridden.
Oh, filled. Just ooh. It's not blood coursing through my body, it's anxiety. So yeah, hate it. But it's also like it's a necessary evil for me. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know I'm planning on going to this networking event on Monday, and like just thinking about it, I'm like,
Is that a new one? Because you just went to one. That was the salon opening, right?
yeah, I guess that was like a
Yeah.
not really a networking thing because it was for the salon opening.
Oh, okay.
But it was through the same group. It's the Everyday Girl Adventures that's downtown, the one with Jean.
Yeah,
lady that
yeah.
So she is who I got invited. Like that's how I got invited to the salon opening. I'm really trying to make a point to when I get invited to go to things or, just invited in general. I try to go, unless there's like a legitimate conflict in my schedule.
Right.
Which usually there isn't.
No.
But so that's why I've just been like, okay, I got invited to this thing. Like I'm going to try and go and support and get out there and like.
I mean, that's also getting out of your comfort zone.
Exactly.
Obviously.
Well, yeah, that's the big thing is like it's so uncomfortable for me to go out and do these things and like, but I'm trying to work on like, my body language while I'm out. And like, especially when I went to the salon opening, I found myself like standing like this a lot. And I'm like, okay, don't be so closed off. Like open up a little bit. And like, it's really, it's a process.
Yeah.
So that's where I guess, like I said, I have a very big love-hate relationship with it, but it's a necessary evil. I gotta
feel like when you're about to go into it is like when you're anxiety ridden.
Oh yeah.
But then like once you actually start doing it, like you just like
once I get in and start talking to people, then I'm like, okay, this really isn't that bad. Like it's okay.
Even when we're out in public, like I just talk to random people.
To be fair, people approach me. Okay.
So you have that energy about you though, where it just like brings people in. So like
I really do though. People just like come and talk to me all the time. Yeah.
I'm just out there like, can we go home?
I know.
You're having this 30-minute conversation with this random person.
I know, like that one day at Best Buy, I don't even remember what we were talking about at this point, but she was like saying that she had been having some problem or something like that. And I was like, oh. Really? And she like just started going into it. And I remember like looking over at you.
We were looking for a computer.
You were looking for my new laptop.
And then you're over there just chatting up this.
And I like look over at you and you're just like,
the fuck
are you doing?
Yeah, can we get back to what we were doing?
Like having a full-blown conversation with this lady about whatever issue she's having that she needs to go to Geek Squad for. And I'm just like, oh my God, that's so crazy.
See, you entertain it though.
I can't help it because people just start telling me stuff and I'm like, no way, really? What happened? Like, oh my God. I want to hear about it.
That's what brings people in though. It's like, you know, some people would just like, oh, that's crazy. And then like, that's it. Where you're like, oh, really?
I can't help it. Sometimes, especially if I know I have some time to kill. Like,
we were in the middle of looking
that
for
one.
computer.
Okay, that was unintentional. I wasn't doing that. Like,
Aren't they all unintentional?
Well, no. Okay, so there was another time, like when we first tried to adopt Nola, and like I was sitting out there in the waiting room, and you had taken the kids out to the car.
Okay.
And because I had to go and wait in line to like do all the paperwork and everything like that. And so I'm sitting there waiting, and there was this lady sitting there, and she was, I think it was like her daughter's friend or something. And I don't even know how we started talking. I honestly have no idea how the conversation started. Couldn't fucking tell you. But like she's telling me her whole life story. Like I'm not even joking. Her entire story about how like her daughter was on drugs and so she's got custody of her kids and now she wants to adopt a dog. So she's here to get a little dog. I know. And she's sitting here talking and like I'm just listening to her. I was like, oh my God, like, you know, we're having a conversation about her story and everything. And then she stops and she's like, you're a complete stranger. I don't even know why I'm telling you this. And I was like, girl, we're so far in already. Just tell me everything. I was like, at this point, I need to know, like, we need to round it out by the time I leave here because, like, there's too many. I'm going to have questions. And obviously, it did round out because I haven't thought about it since.
Yeah, right.
So I don't even remember all of what we talked about. This is a good conversation. But it was just funny how she was, like, just stopped in the middle and was like, I don't even know you. And I was like, I know. Tell me. That's fine.
Everywhere we go.
I know. I can't help. I don't even like do anything.
Yeah. But that's not even like
don't.
That's not even like stepping out of your comfort zone though.
No.
Like that is your comfort zone. Just like the tea and talking and all of that. That's your comfort zone.
Just the random like
that's what I'm saying though. Like once like
but yeah, that once exactly once I go and I'm in there.
Like if you know, so like those are all situations you didn't know were coming, so you didn't have a chance to panic.
Yeah.
Because like you just found yourself in it and then all of a sudden you were in your comfort zone.
Exactly.
Before you actually get there though, like the actual like, you know, preparing for it.
Yeah.
When you know it's coming, that's when you get like anxious.
Oh yeah. Like I start sweating and pacing everywhere and like can't remember what I'm doing. And,
that's interesting though. And it's not the action that's outside of your comfort zone. It's the building up to it.
Yeah, it's the thinking about it and like anticipating.
Yeah.
Anticipating the conversations and like how I'll be perceived, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And
whereas like starting like your company, that's like a different thing because you're not heading to your comfort zone. You know what I mean? Like that whole thing would be the
whole thing is very uncomfortable.
Yeah, right, exactly. but like,
I mean, I know
you know
accounting,
what you're doing. Exactly.
So like, that's where I'm like, okay,
yeah, I
know what I'm doing. And even still with that, like, I still deal with the imposter syndrome where I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. This is not, I'm not responsible enough to do this or like, I don't know enough about this or whatever. Like, and I immediately think like, oh my God, you're incapable. And then I'm like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, just snap out of it. Like
you were
can
saying
fucking
that
do it.
the other day, I think we were talking to like Caroline or we were talking to somebody and you were talking about the imposter syndrome.
The imposter syndrome. Yeah.
But then you were like, well, all I had to do was like, look at my notes and like, wait, hold on.
I
and
know.
It all came flooding back.
Yeah. Like I went to go work on somebody's books and I was like, I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing here. like I shouldn't be doing this. And then I was just like, what are you talking about? You know exactly what you're doing. Stop it.
Right.
And I went and did it.
Yeah.
And it was fine.
Exactly. See, that's the thing. That's very, like, even like throughout my career too, like I got that. Even like it was weird because like even when I was like teaching people, you know, like it got to a point, you know, some days I was just like, do I know what I'm doing?
Exactly.
You got to remind yourself, like, I teach this.
Yeah.
Like, I teach people how to do this.
Yeah.
Right.
I know.
Like,
and
yeah, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Like I would have that even when I was doing taxes and I would just be like, oh my God, I have no idea what I'm talking about. And then I'm like,
yeah.
Shut up. Yes,
so you
do.
Start doing it. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or, you know, and then that's where I also had to start getting comfortable with like the transparency of like, I don't know. So let's try and figure this out together. And then that's where I felt like, especially with the tax prep, that a lot of people felt more comfortable, I guess, in that way, that I was like, I don't know the answer, but we can try and figure it out.
Right,
and like,
that's good.
I had a bunch of people that I was like, I'll sit here and walk you through this, or, you know, I was like, I have this much time with you. We'll do what we can, and we can reschedule if we need to. Or like some people, I'd be like, you know what? I don't have any appointments. So like, we'll go until somebody comes in and then we'll figure it out. Like if I'm the only person in the office or something. But, yeah, so that's where like I really had to remind myself a lot with that like you're capable. You're fine. You can do this. So like even if you don't know, it's okay. You don't have to know everything. Like I had to like gentle parent myself.
Yeah, right.
Like,
just to get you out of that
exactly,
little funk.
Yeah.
But I would rather deal with somebody like that, somebody that's like they admit that they don't have all the answers, but they're willing to go look for them, rather than somebody that's like, I have all the answers, and they end up giving you the wrong answer.
Yeah.
Like, that's not good for either of us.
Exactly.
You're not learning. I'm not doing what I'm trying to do or learning. Like,
exactly.
I would much rather have that.
Yeah. Well, then I figure, too, like, I try to reframe it in my mind, like, okay, well, I don't know this, so this is a good learning opportunity for me. I can build my, you know, new skill set or something, or add on to my skill set. And like I said, I really have to like gentle parent myself internally and be like, it's
That's
okay.
funny. Yeah.
We can do it's all right. If you don't know, we can just do this. Like that's how I have to talk to myself inside. Because then on the outside, I'm like, you dumb bitch. You know what you're doing. Like blah, blah, blah. But on the inside, I'm like, it's okay.
That's so funny.
It's all right. Like slow down your heart rate. You don't need to get anxiety. Like it's fine.
God. So funny how just anxiety just flows through you.
Oh yeah. Just all up in me.
That's funny. But yeah, I don't know, I've gotten to the point where I like stepping out of my comfort zone. I've gotten to this like
you like embrace it.
Yeah, I try to, because like, especially if I'm teaching it, right? I should do it. You know what I mean? But yeah, and that's kind of how all this came to be.
Yeah,
is like, you know, the companies and podcasts and all that. It's just kind of dove in.
Yeah.
You know, I've never ran a podcast before, but I'm gonna fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
I mean,
just do it.
Yeah, just do it. You know,
might as
and
well.
even if it's like sloppy in the beginning, like anything is, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it'll get better over time.
Yeah.
You just have to start, and that's where some people just never start.
Exactly. But you know what? Shout out to Tony and Ryan. Start the fucking blog.
Yeah. See, yeah, there
Start
you go.
the fucking blog.
Yeah,
Right
that's
there.
right. Yeah, you had said that to me once upon a time, like in the beginning of like all of this. Had to be like November or December last year
It
or
was
something like that.
yeah.
Yeah. And you mentioned that. And I was like, I like that. I was like, just fucking start the blog.
Yeah, that's like one of their big
then we
things.
started
Just
like
start
4.
the fucking blog. Yeah, I mean, it helps.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you really just have to dive in. You just have to
You
start.
just gotta do
and just
it,
figure it out
really.
along the way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because eventually you're gonna turn into the person that everybody's like, oh shit, like how did you do this? Or like,
Started the fucking blog.
Exactly, yeah. Or you get the other people that are like, oh, you guys are so lucky. I was like, no, this was, you didn't see everything happening in the background.
There's a lot of shit storm in the background and a lot of like figuring things out and
yeah, but people only see those type of people only see the ending result, and they just think it's luck or whatever. They don't see the hard work and the the progress and stuff like that.
I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm figuring this shit out every day.
Exactly. I mean, that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? It's either that or you kind of sit stagnant.
Yeah.
You know, you just kind of sit there and you just
yeah. Well, another thing that they say too on that podcast is that they're like, either way, a year is going to pass. So like either,
Yeah.
a year from now, you're going to be doing the same thing, talking about like, oh, I should do this or blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Or like, did you do it?
Yes.
And like, so
many people I've run into over the last, I don't know, probably a year or so, probably even more than that, that very thing.
yeah.
Like they'll talk about it, like talking about starting this business or doing this, especially like at LM.
Yeah,
There were
it's
some
like,
people that were like, yeah,
do
I want to start this
it.
business. But then like a year later, you're still going to be in the same fucking spot.
I mean,
you know?
even if it's like just baby steps, like just start putting
some
stuff
kind of progress,
down on paper or like on your OneNote or whiteboard or whatever. Like, I feel like that's the starting point, is that if
Those
you
are definitely
just
baby
keep
steps. Yeah,
I know, but that's what I'm
fair.
saying
That's fair.
is like that's how it started for me, I guess, is that I would just be like, oh, I can't stop thinking about this thing. I just need to brain dump it. And then I'd brain dump it. And like, sometimes I wouldn't even think about it again, but then I'd be like looking through my old notes or something. And I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about that. And then like, I'll be like, oh, I'll reread through it. I'm like, oh my God, I actually thought of something, to add on to this or whatever. But like, just getting it out basically is what I'm saying. Don't just keep it inside.
That's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing is like, I think a lot of people even, though that's like the very first step you should take, but I think that's where some people even get stuck.
Yeah.
So like that example right there is like, you write it down and then a year later you come back to that same notebook. You're like, oh yeah, I was going to do this thing, but you never actioned it, you know? But I agree. That's the first step, but you have to,
I guess I was just saying like for people that, like it helps them to see it.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I brain dump. Yeah.
Because like that's how I am. If I can see it and reread it and like,
oh yeah,
I don't know, just go over it.
Oh yeah,
over and over and over.
I do that continuously. Like there's times where like I guess Malachi calls it shower thoughts. You reminded me of that a couple weeks ago. But I was, I had this thought and this happens all the time. Like I'll brain dump as soon as I get out of the shower because my phone's right there, and I'll just like whatever I was thinking, like I'll just brain dump like book idea or something to add to the book or company or podcast idea, whatever, and just kind of brain dump on my notes. And then the next day, but this is where like I don't let it just sit. As like the very next day, I make a point. One of my first like to do things, my tasks is I go to that list and then I transfer it over to my OneNote because I know anything in my OneNote is going to get actioned. Whereas if it sits in like a notebook somewhere or somewhere I'm not going to look at it for months or years or whatever, like it's not going to get action. But if I take it, if I just brain dump onto my phone and then, cause like there's a point to carry over. Right. Because like even when you leave like your desk or your workstation or, whatever the situation is, like you're going to have more ideas, especially as you start thinking about it. But like, I just can't like not write it down because I'm going to forget. 100% chance. I'm gonna forget. So I brain dump and then I transfer it and then I continue acting. That's kind of how I just go through the days. Really, it's just I continuously.
It's a good method just to get it out.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like you can't just let it sit.
Yeah, like, you have don't let it sit and fester.
Yeah, exactly. Start the blog.
Yeah, start the fucking blog.
I like that.
Yeah.
I definitely like the other three, which we'll save obviously. Okay. So the fake influencers, overthinking, and butterfly effect. We'll save that for next week, and I'll add one additional one to those. Oh, man. Maybe we should just keep it at the 3. I don't know. We got to start chipping away. What if you added another good one? That's true. Well, then that's just more weeks. That's why we need to start doing episodes every day. I feel like every other or something you would need to pick. I'm going to get stuck in analysis paralysis. We'll do, I'll make a note after this, after we're done with filming, and I'll make sure that I make a note to only do 3 for next week. So you have to pick one of these 3. Okay. So fake influencers, overthinking, butterfly effect. All right, I'll think about them for. I say I'll think about them for a week. You're not supposed to know anything about the episode. I mean. Yeah, exactly. So maybe I'll surprise you and just give you 4 new topics. Oh shit. Okay. Okay. So next up is Am I the Asshole? Every week I'll pick one Am I the Asshole story, and we'll see what Miranda thinks. So this one is titled, Am I the Asshole for Not Sending My Mom Photos from My Phone Right When She Asked? This one gets a little wild. This one has a little more detail than the last ones. I made sure I got one that had a little more. I'm 22 and staying with my parents over the summer before going back to school out of state for my senior year. Yesterday, I was at the gym and at about 5:30 p.m. got a text from my mom asking if I'd be home soon so she could look at photos I'd taken of her on a recent trip we went on. I got home at 6:30 p.m. and quickly took a quiz for an online class and then got ready to leave because I'd promised a friend I'd meet her at her house by 7:30 p.m. and she lives about 20 minutes away. At about 7:05 p.m., my mom asked if she could look through the photos. I didn't really want her looking through my entire phone because I could have screenshots of texts between friends or other random embarrassing stuff that I just wouldn't want her seeing. So I told her that I was just about to head out because I had plans at 7:30 p.m. And that I would send her the photos the second I had a free minute. She proceeded to go upstairs and bang on the bathroom door and yell at me as I finished getting ready, telling me to just give me her phone and that she needed the photos now. I went silent for a minute because I was kind of shocked that she was yelling at me suddenly, and I didn't want to say anything that could be rude. She then took my car keys that I had left on the table so that I couldn't leave the house. I don't really think that is appropriate at all since I'm 22 and not a child. Even if she was frustrated, it is no longer her responsibility to discipline me as if I were a teenager, especially over photos I said I would send, especially if it's my fucking phone. Yeah. We'll get there. I asked her if she had seen my keys, and she told me she had taken them and would not give them back until I sent the photos to her. I told her this wasn't appropriate to do. She continued to yell at me while I kept my voice low and didn't cut her off or interrupt, even when she was cutting me off. I had my phone recording the interaction because I've gotten sick of the way she acts towards me and honestly wanted to confide in a friend afterwards and ask if she thought I did anything wrong. So she was going to show the video to a friend. My mom got very mad about that, and I honestly understand where she's coming from, but also if she's treating me in a way that she's so terrified for anyone else to see, maybe she needs to be kinder. Anyway, I end up texting her the photos because she refused to give me my keys until I did. She tells me these aren't the right photos, and I tell her they're the only ones I have. She tells me that isn't true, so I once again check my camera roll and tell her that these are still the only photos I have of her, and I would like my keys back. She continues to try to argue with me over whether or not I have more photos of her, all while my poor friend is expecting me. Before she hands me my keys back, she tells me that I'm disgusting, disgraceful, and that she's embarrassed that I'm her daughter. I would say, am I the asshole? But I think we both know where this is going. What are your thoughts?
What the fuck?
What you got?
This is how you behave over pictures?
I guess so.
What?
And a mother, too. Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to that. Like, I'm just... what the fuck? Who behaves that way?
Not a rational human being.
Okay.
This is one thing that I'm seeing pretty frequently now, like online and stuff like that, is like toxic people in your life and it being completely acceptable to cut people off.
Well, yeah,
no matter the relationship. This is a contender for that right now.
Oh, I would never speak to her
again. You would never see me again.
Yeah, no, we're not.
And I would also not ask for my keys. Well, no, she's only staying with them for the summer.
I'm leaving. So I don't care.
Yeah,
I'm leaving.
You would never see me again. Yeah.
Either I'm leaving or like when I'm there, I'm in my room. I will fully fucking adjust my schedule so that I do not have to associate with you at all.
She's 22 in college, so I'm assuming she has like a dorm room. Maybe, or maybe not for the summer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If not for the summer, but like if she has that's what I would do. I would go full like gray rock. Like even living in the same house, I'm not speaking to you.
What is that? What is that?
Like just not acknowledging you. Okay. I don't acknowledge your presence. I'm just gonna keep moving along, functioning through life like I normally do. I just won't speak to you. I won't acknowledge you. If you speak to me, I'll be very basic, very minimum, and that's it. We will not be interacting. Like, if that's how you're gonna fucking treat me over some pictures and then you're gonna call me, what, disgusting and disgraceful and shit, go fuck yourself.
Yeah. Over photos. And it's not even like, it sounds like they didn't just do this. They didn't just take this trip. Like, it's been a little bit of time.
Well, even still, like...
So, like, why is it such a priority right this second that you get these?
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing, I don't know. Because at first I was going to say, like, I would have just been like, when she pounded on the door, I'd have been like, you're fucking drama queen. Like, you're being a baby right now. You sound drunk. So, like, what is the matter with you? I literally been like, what is your problem? It's not that serious. And then I've been like, here, sending you these fucking pictures, leave me alone. And then, but obviously it led into more. So, but like I said, I was going to say that was my initial thought.
Yeah.
Before we heard the rest of it. As far like, I don't even know. Like,
That's so funny.
what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't even know.
Yeah. There's a lot of things wrong with this story. First and foremost, you are absolutely not the asshole.
No.
Your mother is, obviously.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think there's a lot more going on here too. Like I said, it's
It sounds like
I would completely cut this person off. In a fucking heartbeat, and you would never see me again.
Well, it sounds like it's been happening for some time because that's why she started recording on her phone because she wanted to be able to talk to somebody else about it, which makes me think that like, has this been happening? And she's been trying to tell people, and like maybe her mom doesn't act this way when anybody else is around. So that's why people think like maybe that's why she recorded dramatic. Yeah,
that makes sense.
I don't know if maybe that's the case because again, I was going to say I wouldn't have started recording her because like that shit always escalates everything. Whenever you pull out your phone and you start recording, like it's like obviously it went a different way than what I foresaw it going. But like I don't know. The whole thing, the mom is a psycho.
Yeah, for sure.
Like.
And also, I think that, I don't know, like I said, I keep seeing things about like cutting off like toxic people, whether it's friends, family, or whatever.
People have.
But like one of these things is she seems very attached. I mean, she's 22. She's still young.
Yeah. I mean, she clearly still depends on them in some aspect if she comes and stays at their.
I mean, maybe. Well, it's summer, so maybe the dorms just.
I know, but
closed.
that's what I'm saying.
Maybe,
is that, like.
Regardless, I would find somewhere else to.
Yeah,
to be
I'd leave.
and never come back. But anyways, she seems very attached to her. Doesn't mention anything about a dad, so I can't say parents, but her mom. I think I don't think she ever mentions parents.
Interesting.
Let me see. Oh no, staying with my parents over the summer.
Oh, okay.
So where's the father in this situation? Maybe at work or something. I don't know. Well, no, it's already like 7:30 at night. But anyways, But anyways, it sounds like she's very attached because she talks about not raising her voice, not interrupting, even though the mother's being very rude and stuff like that. So she seems very.
I don't know if attached is the word I would like. I don't know. I'm just trying to wrap my brain around the whole thing. This is crazy.
Yeah. And that's the scary thing is that this can happen all the time behind closed doors and people don't know. And it can escalate.
Yeah, I mean, and she's like
you were pounding on the door, yelling about something like this. So imagine like they get into a scenario where it's like a serious thing.
Well, yeah, I
what's gonna happen
know.
then?
Like, and then that's where I understand her wanting to like keep calm and trying not to escalate it and stuff. But yeah, where was the dad? Like,
I don't know.
Was he
doesn't
not
say anything about the dad?
Was he not home, or is this a common occurrence that like he just doesn't intervene anymore?
That's possible. I mean, there are families
but
like that.
That's my thing. That
I think it's typically the mother though. That like.
Well, right? I don't know. That's just what. Because she said that she recorded it and wanted to talk to somebody else about it. That's what really makes me think that like this happens fairly often. Yeah. Maybe like it's never escalated this far. Maybe. But it's enough to make her want to record it to talk about it with somebody else.
Yeah. And also like why do you want to go to a friend and not your dad?
Yeah.
Like somebody that can actually like intervene or do something, you know?
Yeah.
That's the question that I have.
So I don't know. I mean, she's definitely was it a girl?
I think so.
Okay. Yeah. So she's definitely not the asshole. The mom definitely is.
Yeah.
Dad probably, depending on where he was when all this happened.
I don't know.
If he wasn't in the house, he gets a pass. If he was there and didn't like intervene at all,
maybe he's not.
As well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it starts out by saying I'm 22 and staying with my parents over the summer. My parents.
Yeah.
I mean, you also don't know if it's a dad either. It could be. Like,
oh, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true. Okay, so then the other parent.
Yeah, right.
Either way, the focus is on the mom.
Yeah.
In this case, mom's the asshole. 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
Like,
and I think you need to get out of this.
Yeah.
And also, like, this is another thing I think we talked about a week ago, maybe the last week's episodes. But driving people away. Like she's going to school out of state.
Yeah.
So like if you truly value, if you guys are states apart or whatever, countries apart, whatever the case may be, right, in your situation, and you truly want to like sustain the relationship, or
Yeah, you'd think that
you would
you
think
would.
this is the complete opposite.
Yeah.
This is going to have the complete opposite effect.
Oh yeah, being
Because now
like
I don't even have to try hard to get away from you. I just have to go back to school and then never fucking come back.
Exactly. That's what I was going to
And
say
you
too,
caused
is
it.
that even if you're stuck there for the rest of the summer and you know that you're going back, you have that time to like get a job and figure out what you're going to do come next summer.
Yeah, right.
But like at least you can get a job while you're living in the dorms and like save up your money and stuff like that.
You can make moves to never go back there again.
Yeah,
and
I think that she should.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean. Like, it's completely acceptable to cut off people, especially if like it's an abusive thing or something like this.
Yeah.
Where it's like this could get violent. Yeah. This could get this.
She's like pounding on the door and
Yeah,
screaming
exactly.
at her. Like,
and then she took your keys.
Yeah.
So like now she's like restricting you from leaving. Like that, and that's another thing too. Kind of another topic is that relatives, obviously based on the different what is it? Not heritage.
Cultures.
Obviously cultures aside, right? Because that's a whole different thing. But it all comes down to just toxic is toxic. And that's actually one of the notes that I put on here.
Yeah.
Toxic is fucking toxic no matter what your culture is. 100%. And to me, it doesn't matter if you're, best friends since you were fucking babies and you're 30 years old now, or if it's, parents or grandparents or great grandparents, uncles, whatever the case may be. Toxic is fucking toxic. And just because we have that relationship, or just because these two, this mother and daughter, have this 22-year relationship, toxic is fucking toxic.
I mean, yeah. And I don't know. I feel bad for her. She definitely needs to go get away and like just start building up her own life. And it sucks because like when you have to cut people off, like it's always harder on the person that has to do the cutting, because like obviously you've been driven to this point. Like that doesn't just happen out of nowhere where somebody's like, oh, just never gonna, like it's, especially if you have a long relationship and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like they've been putting up with your shit for some time and they finally decided like, okay, I'm done. And like they're assuming that they've held on for this long because they care about you and because they want to keep that relationship. So it sucks that they have to like be the ones to move on.
And the craziest part too is I do agree that the person that has to do the cutting, right? Cutting off the relationship has the harder job.
Yeah.
Because the other side of it, they're just used to that behavior. They're just behaving as they normally would.
Well, now they get to be the victim.
Well,
so.
Right, yeah. But the harder part is actually being the bigger person, being like, I don't need to put up with your shit anymore.
Well, yeah, because you're the one that has to walk away from the relationship, and then you have to maintain that boundary that you set that, like, if you're not going to make these moves, then you don't get access to me. And as much as it sucks, because like, especially when it comes to family, like you want to be close to your family, you want to be involved in everything.
Of course, yeah.
And then, like all these you can't share with them because you're like, nope, I have to maintain this boundary because if I let this go, then they're going to think, oh, it's okay. They've forgiven me. Everything is acceptable now. I'm fully back in.
Behavior,
yeah. So it sucks.
That's what I was going to say about these two as well, is because like, I'm sure if this 22-year-old, the daughter, were to make a move like that, would stand up for themselves, or cut off the relationship, or just flat out tell you, I'm not coming. You're not going to see me again. I'm going to go back to school, and that's going to be it. I think I'm just guessing. My opinion is that the mom would be like, "What? How dare you? Like, what? Why would you do that? Like, why?
Yeah.
Where is this coming
like,
from?
Oh my God, you're being dramatic.
Yeah.
I wasn't even that bad.
Exactly.
I don't know what you're talking about.
That is the most toxic fucking attitude.
Probably why she recorded it.
Yeah. And then that's even more exactly what she says too, is she wanted to record it to show one of her friends to be like, am I the asshole, essentially, right?
Exactly.
And then for you to get mad at that, is that's not good.
Yeah,
that's
she
not
really
a good sign.
needs to like go low or no contact is my advice on that one.
Yeah, I think you can, and this is something I think I think about this. I've been thinking about this last couple of weeks, but I saw this. I think with all the deep fakes, I don't know for sure if it's legit or not. But I saw this Tyler Perry interview, which it looked legit. And he said something about along the lines, paraphrasing, of course, said something along the lines of it's completely acceptable to cut off toxic people. I think he was talking about relatives, but it's completely acceptable to cut off toxic people. And that's exactly what needs to happen here.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that needs to and that's what I mean. Like I keep seeing stuff like this. It's probably been a couple months by now, but I keep seeing stuff like that because I think it's like.
I think people are really getting to a place now where like more people are starting to figure out where their own boundaries are and then how to instill that with like everybody else, I guess, especially in, you know, like the younger generations, I guess. Like ours and younger, maybe. I think that's a big thing. It seems like for what I see online. Just being like, I'm not going to put up with this shit anymore. I'm not, you know, it's always been this like the status quo is you just blindly respect your elders and blindly respect everybody. And like, you have to always love your family and like always just, you know, accept them no matter what. And, you know, the younger generations are like, no, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm tired of excusing this person's poor behavior. I've been subjected to it since I was a kid because that's how everybody around me was raised. That's how I was raised. But I never liked it and I don't want to do it anymore.
It's always, and I think that's where my mentality has always been like that, where I don't have to put up with this.
Yeah.
I know and it always comes back to like the bless you thing. Like the social norms. I've never fucking been about social norms. Completely separate from this, but it's the same kind of thing in my mind. Like social norms like that. The social norm is that you will respect your elders and you will do all this no matter what. And that's not how life works. That's not how this fucking works. And that you just said it. And I do kind of agree that the younger generations are more, I guess, about that life, maybe.
I feel like that's what it seems like.
But also I think there's maybe situational awareness or like, I don't know, because you got to think like if that Tyler Perry interview was correct, he's not part of the younger generation. And he's where I heard the quote from.
No, that's
you know what I mean?
true.
So like
I guess,
maybe it's just like a movement kind of thing. It's not fair to make
that like sweeping generalization.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, you're probably mostly correct though in that it is like the not the majority. I don't want to say that, but more younger people think that way than older people do.
Yeah, that's what I see more often personally. But yeah, I mean, either way, I think everybody should really, I got a bunch of like flakes and shit on my shirt, but I think that everybody should put your boundaries in place.
Yeah.
And if people are treating you like shit, then remove yourself. Like, that's how I approach it anyway, is that like, hey, I don't like this thing. Like, stop that or whatever. And like, if you can't respect that, then like, okay, well then I'm just gonna,
then why would I respect you?
I will remove myself.
Yeah.
Because it's also not my responsibility to control how somebody else acts or how somebody else is going to react to my boundaries.
But it is your responsibility to react appropriately and do what's right to you.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Yeah. What my responsibility is how I behave in that scenario. So like, I'll just leave. And like, yeah, maybe again, because like, I don't like the confrontation because I don't see the fucking point. You clearly, I'm laying this boundary down. You clearly don't respect it.
Yeah.
What am I going to do? Sit here and argue with you about why you should respect my boundary? Do you see how stupid that sounds?
That's fair. Yeah.
Do you see how that sounds like a waste of time? I don't want to do that.
That's fair.
So
yeah,
I'm just going to go and you can think about it. You can dwell on it. I don't give a shit.
You also don't like confrontation.
I don't, but like I said, because it's a waste of my fucking time.
Yeah, that's
if
true.
It's like in that specific scenario, if it's not going to go somewhere, if I don't see a realistic outcome, that's what I view as a waste of my time.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, why am I going to say it's like arguing with a fucking wall?
For real. 100%. That's exactly what it's like.
Because at that point, especially, when you get to a certain point with people, you're arguing and they're not listening to you. No. They don't care about what you have to say.
They're always right.
They're just getting ready to come back with their same bullshit that they've been saying.
Mm-hmm.
it's a waste of time.
Yeah. I agree.
I don't care
with 100% of that.
Yeah.
Especially like if it's just going to go, back and forth. Like, we're not getting anywhere. Like, why am I entertaining this conversation? Like, why? Yeah. And then it all comes back to you will respect you. Not always, but like, especially in that scenario that we're talking about.
Yeah.
Is that it always comes back to that. Like, you will respect your elders and all that. And
I hate it too.
I love how people are starting to think that way.
Yeah.
Now and not to be shitty and not to like shit on like older generations and stuff like that. But if you actually
it's not necessarily the generation, it's that mentality.
Yeah, 100%. But if you actually have a relative or an elder or whatever like that actually has like your best interest in mind and like wants to kind of guide you and is respectful, obviously complete opposite of this fucking person.
Yeah.
Then that I understand that 100%. But in my opinion, it's very rare to have something like that, because most people just have like their own narratives, agendas, whatever the case may be, right? Or even just opinions on, you will blindly respect me no matter what.
But one thing, like, speaking of like the cutting toxic people off, like kind of leading into that as well. One thing that I've seen more often is, like when you cut people off and how it's always more difficult for the cutter. Because they're the ones that are most often met with like, oh, well, you only get like one mom or one dad or whatever. And then, but then now I've see more of that inverse where people are like, well, they only have one me.
Right.
They only have one daughter
right.
or like whatever like that. I don't understand why I need to forgive them because they're my parent, but they're excused to treat me like that because I'm their kid.
Yeah.
Like,
I think I've never thought of that because I've never heard that. Like I've never been like in that scenario where like you only have one parent or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's a great point is that, well, you only have one of me as well.
Yeah.
You know
so like, why do I have to grovel at your feet? Like I didn't choose to be here. I'm not the one that brought me here. I'm not the one that assumed the responsibility to fucking take care of me and raise me and do all this shit. I didn't do that. And yet now I need to bear the brunt of your bullshit too with you and the general public because everybody somehow believes that you're more deserving.
That doesn't even make sense, but yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You see how this shit sounds dumb?
Yeah, that's wild.
Like,
I mean, it's true.
When you say it like that and you're just like, oh, wow. Like it just...
It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't fucking make sense.
She could say the same thing to the mom.
Exactly. That like no matter what.
So what the fuck's your point?
Yeah. It's like the argument still comes down to like, don't behave like that.
I think that goes back to your point though about the wall, like the brick wall.
Yeah.
Talking to a wall.
Yeah.
Is that it's not gonna get anywhere.
No.
You know what I mean?
In one ear, out the other.
Yeah.
She's in the middle of it all. She still believes that she's right, and that's how she's gonna play it off in her head.
And that right there is why you just cut off the relationship.
Yeah, because what's the point?
Like you can absolutely love a toxic family member from afar.
Yeah, like I love you. I love the memories that I have of you, or I love the person that I thought you were.
Yeah, right.
But I don't love who you are right now.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be
near
who you are right now. That's probably exactly
what's happening in this story too. Yeah. My asshole story is she probably still hangs on to that respect and love from a previous version of whatever.
Especially when it comes to your parents. Like nobody wants to nobody wakes up one day and is like, I'm just not going to fucking talk to them anymore. Like there's shit that leads up to that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Especially when it's this kind of behavior.
It's always harder for the cutter.
Yeah.
And it's going to continue to be hard and it sucks. But I hope that she can or has a good support system, like in her friends.
Yeah, hopefully.
And especially back at school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Able to build one, especially out of state because she needs to not go back to that house.
You have a lot of
Go build your own life.
You can completely restart.
Yes. You don't, they always say that blood is thicker than water, right? That's how everybody always says it.
Okay.
The real saying is that the blood of the womb is thinner, or the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. So the blood of the family that you build is thicker than the water of the womb that you were.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes. So.
That's wild. We should put that on a sweatshirt.
I'm just saying. Well, I don't have the rights to that saying. But
well, I mean, who knows if anybody does,
once I heard that.
I've never heard that.
Yeah. The blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. Is the full quote.
That is 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy.
Get out there, girl. Go build your village.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And like I said, you can always love. It's completely acceptable. You can always love
from afar.
To love a toxic person from afar.
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is.
And that's fine.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
That's perfectly
So
fine.
this person is absolutely not the asshole.
Yep.
Again, toxic is fucking toxic. Ready to move on?
Yeah.
Okay. So next up is maybe it's not that bad. This one is about something that most people hate, but you actually don't mind. This week you got 4 options.
Oh shit! That's right.
But you can only pick 1, not 3, and we'll save the rest for the other episodes.
Don't give me really good ones. Give me like 2 good ones and 2 shit ones.
Well, we'll see what you think about these because these are all new. So we got people. Do you want me to give you the title of it and then like some like kind of like a brief description of what it is, or do you just want me to give you the topics?
Do you think it would make more sense with the description?
It may give you some ideas.
Do the description.
Okay, so people who hit snooze 6 times every morning, is it just a process of waking up or is it unnecessary? People who always top your story. This is one that I've actually had conversations about. People who always top your stories with their own, so like one-uppers, they call them. Are they trying to one-up or are they just sharing their own experiences?
Okay.
Driving slow in the left lane. This is more like think like American versus European mindsets.
There you go.
Okay, that's the kind of and then loud bass at stoplights. Is it just freedom of expression or is it just unnecessary? Hitting snooze. Can you say it again?
No.
Okay.
I feel personally attacked, by the way, about that first one. It's not my fault. So it's not my fault.
Is this what you're choosing?
No.
Okay, what are you choosing?
I just want to say it's not my fault. And I just had this conversation with my mother about how she used to let me sleep at these dances and all this stuff. I used to sleep
like
at
you're
these.
Picking this topic.
No, I'm gonna pause it after this. I used to be able to sleep at these dances, all this Mexican music playing in the background. Sleep right through it. That's why I can sleep through 6 fucking alarms.
Why are you setting 6 alarms? Anyways, which one do you want to talk about? Do you want to choose this one?
No, because it is that bad.
Okay, which one do you want to talk about then?
I guess the one-upping. Let's talk about that.
Okay.
I have maybe a skewed view of it, I guess, because I don't always see that as like one-upping. I guess it has to be very specific for me to feel like it's one-upping versus just like sharing, experiences. So do you mean like...
What's the line? Do you have like one in mind? Do you have like an example of like... Because I have one in mind, but what do you think?
So like... Sometimes I feel, and apparently this is like a neurodivergent trait, I've learned, but apparently, like sometimes how when I'm talking to people, I'll be like, oh my God, yeah, that's happened to me too. And like in this experience, in my experience and blah, blah, blah. Apparently that comes off sometimes as one-upping. Okay. I'm not trying to one-up, I'm trying to relate.
Right, yeah.
So... That's, I guess, how I feel, where, like, if I'm saying something and somebody's like, oh, my God, and they just try to make theirs sound, like, more dramatic or more exciting. And, like, I was trying to think of I couldn't think of an example right off the top of my head.
So you're saying that
my brain.
it's less of a one-up if you're not excited about it? You're not, like...
Like, if I feel like we're
an excited person and you're just telling a story.
I don't know. It's hard for me to give just like a general example because it's always like in the moment, I guess, when I'm feeling one way or the other.
Okay.
I shouldn't have picked this one.
No, I mean, it's fine. I think it's a good conversation. It's a good discussion to have because I've had it before with some people. And I have my opinions about it, but I think it really comes down to kind of the attitude of the person. If I think there's a clear indication as to when somebody is just sharing an opinion, like, just trying to contribute to the conversation. Because, like, in my mind, right? If you're sharing a story and then I have a story that is similar, I can bring it to the, just because it may be better than yours or, or whatever the case may be, that doesn't mean that I'm trying to one up you. I'm just sharing an experience with you. Mm-hmm. But if you have somebody that is consistently doing that, or the main thing is when they're called out for lying, right? That's the biggest thing, is that if you're making shit up. Now, if you're just pulling from your past, your own
overinflating.
Yeah, your own past experiences, and it's legit, and I know obviously you can't back every single story, right? Yeah. But if it's blatantly like fucking like in Tacoma, where I forget his name, doesn't matter. But he's saying how he, one of his biggest stories that he's always bragging about, is that he was in Tacoma, right? And then he saved this child or some shit from like the 60th floor or something like that. But then the tallest building in that area is like 12 stories. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like when you're blatantly just like, that's the line to me, is like when you're blatantly just like making shit up. So one up, you are a one upper, and I don't time for it. But if you're actually like, if it's a similar story, or like there's truth to it, or like it's pretty obvious when somebody is just trying to one up.
Yeah, I guess one example I could think of is like if, like going to the gym or something, you're like, oh my God, I'm working on this thing. And somebody's like, oh, I'm so good at those. I've been doing those for forever. And you just got to like blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Like that's how I would kind of feel. But like if somebody else was like, yo, I get it. It's hard because when I started out, I was doing it like this and I didn't know, blah, blah, blah. And now I'm doing it like this. That's when I would feel more like, oh, you're trying to relate to me and like trying to tell me like how you started out. And, so because obviously for a lot of people, I'm sure in that specific scenario, if you're in a gym, you're not like in the best shape or something like that. And somebody who is like trying to relate to you, you're probably like, okay. But then if they're like, yo, when I first started, that immediately I'm like, okay, it's a different tone. Obviously you had to start somewhere, like, because you never know who just looks like that and who's like had to put the work in to look like that, Yeah. So that was just one that popped into my head. I mean, that's a great example though. But yeah, so that's just one thing that like sometimes I worry about is how like I come off when I'm trying to relate to people. I'm never trying to one up people ever. I'm always trying to just like relate and be like, oh, like maybe if you need somebody like, hey, I went through this thing. It's not that bad. Or like, oh, that's what happened to you. Holy shit. When I went, this is what happened to me. So you came out lucky like that. It's a good thing how that worked out for you. Like I'll try to reframe it to like, what kind of reassurance do you need from me at this point? And like, how can I relate my experience to that, I guess?
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, just really try to like.
So you really like analyze what they.
Yeah.
So you really take into consideration like what they want to hear.
Yeah, just like what maybe they need in that moment. Like if it's somebody who's like going through a really tough time or something, not really going to try to relate to you in that time. You just dump it. Vent it, do what you need to do. When it's the right time, I'll start relating and stuff. Definitely not going to be like, that's what happened to you. This is what happened to me. Never would I do that. But, if it feels like they need to hear like some, like that they're not alone or something, then I'll try to make sure that I'm letting them know, like, hey, I've done this too. Right. I know how it feels. It sucks, but like, I'm fine. Yeah. You move on. It sucks in the moment and blah, blah, blah. But like, I don't know.
So
but
it all comes down to tone.
And like the consideration for the other person, I think, are the big ones. That's tone fair, and consideration. I think that's fair. And I think attitude, like you said.
Yeah. So if you're gonna come across as like bragging, or like, something like that, then it would come off as like a one-upper. Yeah. But like one thing that I never do is consider like what somebody needs to hear from me. Now, the only reason I would is like, I don't know, to take it back, like an NCO kind of perspective, like somebody that's like having a hard time or something like that. Then it's like, okay, that's when the leadership kind of thing comes in. You're like, okay, now I need to know what you need. Yeah. Right? But when it comes to like daily interactions or just like, stuff like that, like I don't consider that. You know, like I'm just gonna share my experience. Like if we're just having just a regular conversation over coffee or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I don't think about what you need.
I don't know. I guess, depending on how deep the conversation is. Obviously, if we're just talking, I'll just talk.
Yeah,
I don't really like worry about the one-upping. I more automatically assume that people are just trying to relate, honestly. Maybe it's just, I don't know.
I think there are some people though that just want to one up, especially when somebody
when people do,
somebody inserts themselves into a conversation, like they're not even part of it, and then they insert themselves. What's worse, the worst case scenario is that somebody's not even part of the fucking conversation, inserts themselves, and then they make up a story, just to one up. Like, who the fuck are you?
Loud too. They're always loud.
They're probably from Jersey too. That's usually the rule of thumb.
You're awful.
But
You're such a shit. But yeah, I mean, that's definitely... I don't know. Usually, I guess when I start getting that vibe from somebody, I'm like, all right.
Oh yeah.
And again, start removing myself from the situation because like that's just how you are.
Yeah.
People, whether they've called you out on it or not, I don't really give a shit. It's not my responsibility.
Yeah, that's true.
I probably don't care about you that much to see that you change.
Definitely not.
Honestly.
No, but it's definitely toxic behavior. But like I said, there's definitely a clear line of like some people are just sharing experiences. They don't mean to come across the way that you think that they did. Like, I'm not trying to one up you. I'm just sharing an experience because it started with you sharing an experience with me. So
exactly.
I'm just trying to. How else do you want me to contribute to the fucking conversation?
Works.
Yeah,
yes.
like I don't understand. But there is a clear line of like, especially like I said, it all comes down to like for me, like blatantly,
just
blatantly like being a showboat or just blatantly making shit up. Or like, what did you call it? Inflating the story?
Yeah.
Overinflation?
Like overinflating the story.
Yeah. So like when it's obvious that you're lying just to one up the story, it's like, this isn't even a conversation anymore. Yeah. It's turned into a fucking sitcom. Like, what are we doing here? You know?
Yeah. Some people just like to put on a show.
Yeah, for real.
I don't know. It is what it is. Okay. People are the way that they are.
Yeah.
And I just know how I try to express myself and like relate to people and try to, I don't try to one up. So if it ever comes up or ever feels like I'm trying to one up ya, I'm just trying to relate.
That's something too. I mean, a different conversation, but that's something that I have, I guess, struggled with throughout my life is like, I've always been, I've gotten way better at it. But one thing is like caring what other people think. Like that's one thing that I've always been like, I was always in the wrong. I always said something wrong. I always did this. I always did that. Or like overanalyzing like something that somebody said or I said. Yeah. And like it got so fucking exhausting that I'm just like, this isn't worth the effort, right? I find myself thinking about this, late into the day or whatever it is when damn well that person's not, didn't even phase them or, whatever the case may be. So it's like, that's one of those things though, like with this is like, I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to share my opinion and my experience. We're having a conversation, whatever. Right. But I'm not going to blatantly, I never blatantly like one up somebody. Like what is that? No. That doesn't do anything. Right. Doesn't help the conversation or help the relationship or anything. But at the same time, like,
but a little consideration goes a long way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's fair for sure. But yeah, I've never
Maybe that's why so many people talk to me.
Probably. Yeah. I mean,
give them that validation.
Probably. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
I do it to myself. And you know what? I'm not going to stop. So.
Well, I feel again, like when you get in those situations and conversations, like they just go and go and go until I'm like, can we go now?
And that's why I like to go out by myself.
Have all the conversations you want.
Whatever.
So next week maybe I'll surprise you, but I'll possibly bring back the other three.
I already forgot what they are.
Oh, good. Okay. Good. All right. So our last segment is a feel good for the week because we could use more good news, obviously. I got this article from Upworthy. I'll leave a link in the description for those that are interested. So the article is titled, "A Man Called 911 But Couldn't Speak, so his 5-year-old daughter heroically stepped in." The old someone call 911 scene in TV and movies makes stressful emergencies seem a lot easier to manage than they actually are. If you've ever been the one to make that call, you know that adrenaline comes on strong. It can give you energy and strength, but it can also make you shaky, and it can make it hard to keep a clear head while you talk to the dispatcher. You might have trouble staying calm, clearly describing the situation and your location, and following potentially life-saving instructions. That's what makes this next story all the more incredible. A 911 call can be a scary thing, and an emergency call from a dad having chest pains and trouble breathing is no exception. But thankfully, an exchange between that dad's 5-year-old daughter and 911 dispatcher Jason Bonham turned out to be more humor than horror. Oh. At Jason's request, she made sure the front door was unlocked so the emergency crew could get in. She told him about their dog, Lulu, who was small and barks a lot, but was friendly. She consoled? She consoled? Is that how you?
I think so.
She consoled her dad, who may have been in the middle of a heart attack, with "Don't worry, Dad," and "Stay calm, Dad." She also kept the dispatcher up to speed on what was happening, repeatedly saying, "So far, so good." She asked her dad Jason's questions. Like, had this ever happened before? Was he having chest pain? But I thought he couldn't talk. But anyways, was he able to breathe? She acted as mouthpiece and translator, effortlessly multitasking during the call. But the best part was when Savannah told Jason that she and her dad were in their jammies, so she'd have to change.
I love her.
I don't know what I'm going to wear, but he really needs oxygen real fast. Thankfully, despite the scare, everything turned out fine for Savannah's dad. When the story went viral, her mom posted on Facebook, "We are so grateful and blessed that Savannah's 911 call is still being circulated. It makes the whole entire night worthwhile. The more awareness it brings and the more adults that teach children what to do, the better."
Yes.
The story originally occurred about 15 years ago, which makes Savannah around 20 years old today.
Wow.
According to posts on her mother's Facebook profile, Savannah looks happy and thriving in her normal everyday life, despite the story picking up new viewers every single year. Well done teaching the kiddos, Mom and Dad. That was true. She was truly amazing. And kudos to Jason for the masterclass in talking a child through a life-threatening emergency. Thanks to these two heroes, everything turned out okay for the Indiana family.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah.
I just want to cry. She's so
there was
cute.
a lot of comments that
she's like, I need to put on the
yeah.
We're in our jammies.
What am I gonna wear?
That is the cutest thing I've ever heard in my life. Oh my god.
I thought that was a pretty good one. And there was a lot of comments like within the and like I said, I'll include the link in the description. But there was a lot of like comments and stuff within it. And it was along the same lines. Like, I'm about to cry, and like, this is so sweet and all that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Like tears in my eyes and everything. She's so cute.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that worked out as well as it did.
Uh-huh.
Feel like we need to review some things with the kids.
I mean, that's what quarterly planning is for.
I know, but now I'm thinking about it and I'm just like, oh my God, wouldn't Aisha save me?
That's funny. I think so.
I think so.
I think he would definitely, yeah.
I think he would try his best. Yeah.
The only thing would be, well, yeah.
Are you kidding me? I like stubbed my toe and he's like, Mom, are you okay?
Are you okay? That's so funny. But yeah, that was the feel good story for the week.
That was so sweet. Yeah. Oh, good job, Savannah. I know it was 15 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Good on ya.
I know, right?
Yeah, that was a good ending.
Anything you want to add before we wrap up?
No, that was good.
Okay. All right, that's it for this week's episode of the Ranting Podcast, the Rant Files. If you enjoy the show, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we'll see everyone next week.
Yay. Okay, bye.